Yes, sir. We can see a white blank screen.
Huh. Now you can see I wrote current or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir, visible.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, see, if you're able to move all these electrons now, so the electrons from A, you're able to push them further towards B. Okay, you always need some driving force, something to push the electrons from A to B. That is the potential difference. So we'll discuss that later on. But now the thing is that if you're able to move these electrons from A to B, then we say that the current is produced. Okay, so how do they define current now? So current is defined as what, rate of flow of charge. What do you mean by rate? Rate means respect with what? Time, guys. So current is defined as the rate of flow of charge. That is when the electrons or the charges are flowing from A to B. So how many charges are flowing and how fast they are flowing, that would determine the current. Now the symbol for current is what? I. Charge is Q and the time is T. So see, earlier you had very student friendly symbols. You used to have M for mass, P for velocity, A for acceleration, F for force. So all of them are initials mostly. But now you see again the symbols are a little different. For current they're using I, for charge they're using Q, and for time it is simple T only. Now some of you might have a doubt that they were using Q for heat also in calorimetry, and they use Q for charge also. It is the same symbol used in both of them. Okay, they're using the same symbol in both of them, guys. But don't worry, you will not get confused when you're doing. With some practice, you'll automatically realize when it is when the numerical is of current electricity, you'll automatically think of these as a charge only. You won't think of these as a heat. Now, how do you find the total charge which is present? So for finding the total charge, you have to do N into E upon T. Now, what is N over here? So N is what, the number of electrons. Like for example, in out here, I've drawn how many electrons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 electrons. So you can do 7 into charge of each electron. That will give the total charge present in the conductor. Then what are the units of these quantities now? So current is measured in what, guys? It is measured in ampere. So you write ampere in small, or you can write what simply capital A. For Q, guys, what can you write? You can write either capital C or you can write Coulomb. So those who find difficult to write capital C, they need not worry. They can simply write what? Coulomb. And for time, what unit are we going to use? Second, S. So if you combine them, I can also say that 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb upon 1 second. Okay, 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb upon 1 second. So they can also ask you to define 1 ampere. Now, how do you define 1 ampere? So you have to just combine the formula and the units. So 1 ampere is the current produced when a charge of 1 coulomb is passed through a conductor in a time of 1 second. So guys, you won't have to actually by heart it. You can just apply logic and combine both of them, the formula and the units, and you'll get the definition.
Can you repeat that?
Saivi, 1 ampere is the current produced by a charge of 1 coulomb passing through a conductor in a time of 1 second. So basically, if you're passing more charge, obviously it will also produce what? More current also. And also one more interesting thing, if this is actually called as electric current. So though we will be calling it henceforth as current only, it's actually electric current. Electric current is just like what, you have ocean currents, wind currents. So same way there is an electric current. What do you mean electric current actually? It means that there's a flow of a stream of electrons. Okay, like how winds are blowing in wind currents. It moves from like high pressure to low pressure. So same way here also the current goes from high potential to low potential. The electrons are flowing. Now, if you remember, recollect what you did in the 9th standard. If the electrons are flowing from A to B, guys, how would the current flow? The conventional current, it will flow from B to
B
A.
to A.
Yeah, it will always be in the opposite direction, guys. Okay, so in real life, it is obviously not in the opposite direction, but you learn as this only, that it is always in the opposite direction for your 10th standard. At least till you pass out your 10th standard or till whatever, as long as you're doing physics, remember that only. That current and electrons are in the opposite direction. Then there are some more units of current, guys. Like one of them is milliampere. So it will be 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. If it is microampere, it will be 10 raised to minus 6 ampere. So you must have noticed we have not discussed any unit bigger than ampere. Like, we are not using the bigger unit like kilo ampere, mega ampere and all, because these few amperes is enough, guys. Usually in your house, you use current up to like 0 to 5 ampere. And in some heavy appliance like geyser, AC or something, then you use a bigger amount of current like 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 ampere or something. Okay. But generally 0 to 5 ampere is enough. If you want to commit suicide or something, kill someone, murder, 0 to 5 ampere is enough for that also, guys. You don't need more than that. Clear? Also the device which you use, yes, Riddhima. Also, guys, the device which we use is ammeter to measure the current. Again, see, ammeter. So it is basically what, ampere used to measure ampere, and the device is called as meter. That's why the name it is ammeter. So ammeter is a device which you use to measure the current in the circuit. Also, another thing is whatever new units you're doing now, like current, voltage, resistance, whatever you're going to do in this chapter, all of them are scalar quantities. None of them are vector quantities, remember. Everything that you're going to do now in this, in fact, most of the units that you do in 10th standard, all of them are scalar only, except some of them which you already learned, like force, velocity, acceleration, momentum, those. Otherwise, everything is, guys, scalar quantity.
But so won't current have a direction?
Current have a direction, but it is just a sign convention direction. You got it? It is not like actually, you got it? It's not like it will change with the direction. So if you have a conductor at your home, then you take to somebody else's house, the magnitude of current does not change then.
Yeah, it won't be positive, negative.
Yeah, like the quantity doesn't get affected that way. Yeah. This is just a sign convention, like how is your current flowing. It will always go from high to low potential only. Okay. Now, guys, out here now, see when the electrons want to flow, when they're trying to flow from A to B, there is something who will try to stop them. Now, who tries to stop these electrons? The positive ions, they will try to stop them. Okay, so these are these positive ions, they try to stop this movement of these electrons, or they basically try to slow down. So say for example, let's say, if you're running on a, on a ground or something, on an open ground, which is empty, and then you have to run in a busy market. So, you'll be not be able to run very fast in a busy market because there are too many other people, or basically they are like an obstruction to you. So same way, what is resistance? It is an obstruction to the flow of the electron. Clear, guys? So I'll write once again over here. So resistance, it's actually the literal meaning of the word resistance. The symbol is R and the unit of resistance is what? Ohm, OHM. Or it can also be written as omega.
Obstruction to the flow of electrons, right?
Obstruction to the flow of the electrons, yeah. So like when the electrons want to flow through the wire, they are getting obstructed. They do not let them pass through easily. And guys, these are the units of ohm. You can write OHM, but you intend to save time, energy, ink, paper, then you should go for these omega, guys. It might take some practice though. Okay. So they can ask you define resistance and what are the units of resistance. And you can see the symbol of resistance is very user-friendly, guys. It's just capital R, the initial. Now there are 4 factors on which the resistance depends. It depends upon what? M for material, A for area of cross section, L for length of the conductor or the wire, and T is the temperature. So in material, it will obviously depend, whether you want a low resistance wire or a high resistance. Like for example, copper is a low resistance wire. Copper is a material which will have a low resistance, and that's why we use it for connecting wires in your house. So the wires in your house now, which are used, they all are made up of copper. They are called as connecting wires, connecting from the switchboard to your tube lights, fan, AC, somewhere, television and all. Okay. There is another material which is silver. So copper, or you can also use aluminum at times, but copper is more often used actually. Now there's another material, silver, which is even a better conductor than copper. Okay, but we don't use silver, guys, for making wires because
It is
Very
expensive.
it is expensive. Yes, but
Expensive.
still, if you'll visit Saivi's house, you break open any wire, you'll find that they are made up of silver out there. Okay, Advait, you got a new laptop?
No, sir, but there's a RAM update now, so hopefully it will work.
Okay. Then, guys, now second thing that there are also material with higher resistance, like for example, tungsten. Advait, what's the symbol for tungsten? W, na?
Not sure. It's,
Okay, I think it is W. I'm not
tungsten,
sure.
isn't tungsten the one that's in the bulb?
Filament of the bulb. Correct. So guys, tungsten is a material which is used to make the filament of a bulb. I think it is W. I'm not sure. It's named
Yes,
after
sir,
some Wolfram.
As a tungsten is Wolfram.
And
Yes,
and
that's
guys,
W.
okay. So tungsten is used in making the filament of bulb, as Advait said. And guys, another one is there is also nichrome. You heard of this wire, nichrome or nichrome? It's an alloy
Yeah,
of
sir, I
nickel,
guess nickel
chromium.
and
Chromium, yeah. So guys, this is basically a heating filament. So all your electric geysers, tea maker, coffee maker, and all, they all have these wire in electric iron and all. There is a nichrome wire. Okay. Then guys, next is the area. How does area affect now? So area and resistance are inversely proportional. It means what, if you increase the area of cross section, resistance will become lesser. So let's say there are two wires over here. You can see the cross section of the wire. You know meaning of cross section, right? Like for example, say this is a refill, okay, which you have inside a pen, and this is some another whiteboard marker which is thick, like a wire as thick as that. In both of them, there are two electrons which want to move. In which one, guys, can they move freely? In the bigger one, they can move more to move around. Yeah, that's why. So area and resistance are inversely proportional. Length is also directly proportional to length. Sorry, length is directly proportional to resistance. So if a wire is longer, it is going to have more resistance. Simply why? Because the electrons have to travel a longer distance. So they have to go through more amount of friction or the collision or the resistance. And then guys, the last one is the temperature. So temperature and resistance are also what? Inversely proportional. Okay, temperature and resistance are also what? Inversely proportional. So what happens out here is when you heat up, okay, look, when the material is heated up, what will happen? These the atoms, they will start vibrating more vigorously, right, about their mean position. So because they are vibrating more often now, what will happen? They keep on vibrating, like for example, up, down, up, down. So what will happen? The electrons which are coming from here, they will get obstructed again and again. Got it now? So because they keep on obstructing it more often, that's why here also the resistance will. So when you increase the temperature,
increasing temperature, resistance should increase.
I wrote it ulta. Kashyap, yeah, I wrote it ulta by mistake. So temperature will increase, resistance will also increase, guys. Got it? So it is also directly proportional. So you see there are two factors directly proportional. One, area is inversely proportional, and material depends upon the nature of the material. Okay. Now, just like resistance, there is another thing which is called as what, conductance. What is conductance now? So conductance is what, guys, it is a reciprocal of resistance. Conductance is the reciprocal of a resistance. So what does it mean? Like a material which is having a higher resistance, it will have a lower conductance. So tell me, which one has got a lower conductance, guys? Copper or tungsten?
Copper.
Tungsten.
Tungsten. Yeah, my question was lower conductance. So tungsten has lower conductance. And who has got a higher conductance? Silver or a nichrome?
Silver.
Silver will have a higher conductance because basically it's a good conductor, so higher conductance. I hope everybody's got this right. Now, next thing, what would be the unit of conductance? So unit of conductance is what, guys? It's 1 upon ohm, right? So we can say ohm raised to -1
minus
or
one.
ohm raised to -1 or ohm in the reverse order. But if you remember, guys, I told you earlier also, like mho is actually an outdated unit. It's not a wrong unit, guys. Okay, they write ohm ulta for conductance, but it's not like a preferred unit. So if they ask you an exam, you should write this one only. Okay, next thing, guys, now is about the resistivity now. Guys, see now, what do you mean by resistivity? So, like how we did resistance, the next thing now we are doing is the specific resistance, which is very, very tough, guys. This is the tougher part. It is called a specific resistance or also resistivity. Now, see what is the difference in both of them. This is the only difficult part in A part actually. And one more another thing, yeah. So, guys, we have learned what the resistance is directly proportional to length. It is inversely proportional to what area. But if I combine these two equations, what will I get? You know, that resistance is proportional to L by A if you combine them. And if I want to remove this proportional sign, then I have to insert a constant. That constant we call it as what? Rho. Guys, remember na? Rho, R-H-O. Remember where you've done this earlier? What would rho mean?
Density.
Exactly.
Density.
Yeah. It was in density. So R is equal to rho L upon A. Now, if you cross multiply, what will you get? Rho is equal to RA upon L. You guys got it? So resistivity is equal to what? Resistance into area upon length. That's the formula for resistivity. Very, very important, guys. You'll have a lot of numericals based on this in the A part of the chapter. Now we'll find out, guys, what's the unit of resistivity. So tell me, Advait, what is the unit of resistance? First, tell me that.
What, sir?
What is the unit of resistance first?
Sir, ohm, no? The
Ohm, correct, yes, ohm. Yeah, then unit of area will be what?
ohm per meter square.
No, khali area, meter square.
Meter square.
Yeah,
And
ohm per
area
meter
and-
square.
No, and length is what? Meter. We are correct. All answers are correct. So guys, now if you cancel meter and meter out there, right? What will you get eventually? If I cancel
Ohm
that,
meter.
cancel this meter,
Ohm
meter
meter.
out here, ohm meter. So guys, that's the unit finally, ohm meter. So again, very important question. They can ask you, not in MCQ form now, you won't have MCQ in the term 2. Yeah, but they do ask what is the SI unit of resistivity. So it is ohm meter. Okay. They may also ask you, just 1 second. They may also ask you to define resistivity. So how do you define resistivity, guys? Resistivity is the resistance offered. Okay, it is a resistance offered by a wire of unit area of cross section and unit length.
But so then I didn't get the difference between resistance and resistivity.
Exactly, I'll tell you. See, in resistance now, otherwise it could be for any wire of any length and any area of cross section. Meaning, basically, like what I mean is, like for example, you have these two wires, right? A and B. They both will have a different resistance because the length are different, but they will have the same resistivity. Advait, see how we have done. I'll give you another example. How we did heat capacity and specific heat capacity.
Yeah.
Remember the difference? So same way that there is a a resistance and specific resistance. Exactly same thing.
Oh,
You remember
okay.
specific heat capacity would remain same for all the sums now, all the numericals. We used to have same specific heat capacity, 4.2 joule per gram per Kelvin. Though the mass were different. Okay, so but in this case, guys, out here, so like the resistance will be different, but the resistivity would remain the same.
So
guys,
specific resistance is particular for a material.
Yeah. Like for example, copper. So it will be same for copper. But for copper and iron, the resistivity will be different, Himani. It will not be the same.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So guys, we say what, that resistivity is a characteristic property. You guys got it? I'll repeat again. Resistivity is called as what? Characteristic property. What do you mean by characteristic property? It will remain same for the same material. So if you have a copper key, cup, mug, jug, cupboard, whatever, they all will have the same specific resistivity, guys. Sorry, they'll have the same resistivity, but the resistance will be different. Resistivity will be the sorry, one second, who had a doubt?
So can you finish? The resistivity is the resistance offered by a unit area.
Unit area of cross section and unit length.
So can you repeat the whole definition again?
Resistivity is a resistance offered by a wire of unit area of cross section and unit length.
So what is the symbol of specific resistance? It's the same as
Same
resistance.
only, no? Yeah, resistivity and specific resistance is the same only. Yeah, there's just another name for it.
Okay, so thank you.
Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, if it is specific for a material, why is the length involved?
It is no, that's why it is na. See, when you calculate per unit length, per unit area, then it turns out to be same, na. See what they're trying to mean, you know. Look, Naman, to confuse you more, it means what, you know. If you have a wire, like here you can see there are two wires. They have got the same, like they have got a different length, right? So the resistance are different, but the resistivity would be the same. Okay, and if you use two wires, one is a thicker wire and one is a thinner wire. Okay, you can see again two different wires are there, thick and thin. Still, they'll have the same resistivity only. So it's like simple how, you know, Naman, let's say you have got 100 gram of water, 200 gram of water, 300 gram of water. They all have got different mass, different volume, but isn't their density the same?
Yeah, it is the same.
So same way over here also, they have got a different length, they've got a different area, but the area and length are in such a ratio that eventually your resistivity comes to be the same only.
Okay,
Got it?
So over here, rho is for resistivity and R is for resistance, right?
Yeah, R is a resistance, correct. Okay, guys, next thing, or everybody just rejoin, I guess it's about to end. That's why I'll start in the next one only. Naman, to answer your question, one more, I'll just give you an example. Look at this one. So just imagine that you have a cube over here, okay? There is a cube of cross-sectional area 1 meter. Sorry, 1 meter squared, because the side of this cube is one, like this is 1 meter. It's a 1 meter, so the area will become 1 meter squared. No? Correct. You see, what is the length of cube under this wire? What is the cross-sectional area of this wire? Also 1 meter squared. And if I tell you resistance of this is 5 ohm, what would be its resistivity? It will mean 5 ohm meter.
5 ohm meter.
Naman, understood now?
Yes, sir.
Is it there? Huh. Now, Naman, if instead of this, if I place one more, let's say I'm placing one more cube over here next to it, one more cube, another cube. So now, will the resistivity remain same or no? It will still be the same, remember, the resistivity. Got it? But will the resistance be same now? No, no, because this was having 5 ohm resistance. So this is also 5 ohm. So what will be the total resistance? 10 ohm, isn't it?
10 ohm.
Yeah, resistance became 10 ohm. But what happened to the length? Length is how much now? 2 meter.
2 meter.
So the length have increased, right? So again, you divide 10 by 2. What will be your answer? Again, 5 only. Because it is per unit length, na? Not per 2, per 1 meter length. Naman, are you
Yes, sir.
convinced now how?
Yeah.
And again, I will get 5 ohm.
Again, it come 5 only, na? Yeah, 10 by 2. So again, it come 5 ohm meter only, the resistivity.
So, sir, specific resistance will be the same because it is for 1 meter and 1 meter square.
Yeah. That's all. Like how density is mass per unit volume. So
Yes, it is
if you
fixed
take
for
like
every
100
different
grams,
substance.
it's fixed for, yeah, it is fixed for every different substance, yes. But for the same substance, for whatever quantity, it will remain the same. Okay. One more thing, Nihar, this is also good. Now see, will the density, look at this. Say you have got 100 grams of water, then you have 200 grams of water, and you have 300 grams of water. Okay, so obviously according the volumes will also change for all of them, right? But will they all have the same density? All of them are water. Nihar,
Yes, sir.
So it depends if
You
they
have-
are at
Can
the
you
same
repeat your
temperature.
question?
you have got 3 samples of water, 100 gram, 200 gram, 300, the same quality of a water, like that's from the same source. But we have taken 3 different samples. My question is, will they all have the same density?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
It will have, because this will be 100 cm cube of water. This will automatically be 200 cm cube, and this will be 300 cm cube. So calculate the density, you'll get one only answer. Okay. But now if I change the temperatures, this is at 20 degree, this is at 30 degree, and this is at 40 degree. Still will the densities be the same?
No.
Obviously not, because the temperature are different, guys. So same way, if you have, like, if the two bodies are, like, if it's the same material, say copper only. So if the lengths are different, it doesn't matter. It will still have the same resistivity. But if the temperatures are different, like A is at a higher temperature, B is at a lower temperature, then the resistivity will be different. It will not be the same. Okay. So guys, now we had done 4 factors affecting the resistance. What were those 4 factors? Malt. But now out of these, now 2 factors don't affect resistivity. And which are those 2 factors which don't affect resistivity? Area and the length. They do not affect only at all. In fact, the factors which affect is what? Material and the temperature. So like, for example, resistivity of iron is more compared to the resistivity of copper. Okay. And also you can say resistivity is directly proportional to temperature for the metals, only for metals. So for metals, if it is more temperature, there will be more resistivity also. Now, yes, just like we did resistivity, there is this another term which is called as what, conductivity.
Can you go back for 1 second?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, guys, now just like resistivity, there is another term which is called as what? Conductivity. Somebody can guess. Conductivity must be what? Reciprocal of?
Conductor.
Can you go back one slide, please?
Resistivity.
Done? Atharva? Okay, who wanted it?
No, 2 minutes
Arnav?
are almost done.
Okay. You're done or I'll wait?
Almost done. Done.
Okay, guys, so conductivity is what? It is a reciprocal of resistivity, like how we had conductance and resistance. Now, what would be the unit of conductivity? So conductivity's unit will be what, guys? Ohm inverse and meter inverse.
Ohm meter minus 1.
Right? Yeah, or we can write what Diya said, ohm meter whole bracket raised to -1. Even that is okay. That's how we write the conductivity. Clear? Again, the one who have got a better resistivity, they will not be good at conductivity. Meaning higher resistivity means what? Lower conductivity. Now, after conductivity, next thing that we have is a superconductor. What do you mean by superconductor now? Just like we have humans and, or let's say we have man and Superman. Okay. So, you know, guys, so what Superman can do, man cannot do, other than how they wear the clothes. But otherwise also Superman has got all the superpowers which man don't have, right? So that's the same. There is a similar difference between conductors and superconductors. So guys, see, in superconductors now out here, what are superconductors now? So they say when there are, like, you know, when certain materials, when they are cooled to very low temperature, like close to or almost absolute zero temperature. You know what is absolute zero temperature? When the temperatures are dropped down to, you know, cease the molecular motion. Like the molecules of the material will also stop moving. That is called as absolute zero temperature. So when you attain that absolute zero temperature, that time the resistance of a conductor becomes zero. Actually not zero, it is say close to zero, negligible, but we say zero. So the resistance will become zero. Why does the resistance become zero? Because now the atoms inside are not moving only. So there is a fixed path for the electrons to move. There is no obstruction to them. So at that time the resistance is zero. And how much would be the conductance of such material, guys, if the resistance is zero?
Infinity.
Very good, infinity. Guys, what is conductance? 1 upon resistance, 1 upon 0, which is equal to what? Infinity. Okay, infinite conductance. Yeah.
How will the electrons also move if it's at absolute zero?
No, so the molecules.
So what is
of
1
the,
upon O?
1 upon 0. R is 0, no? I've substituted over there. We have a nice question. We are, see, in a wire now. So when we say absolute zero temperature, we are talking about the material, the wire, the conductor, through which the electrons are supposed to pass. But the electrons which are passing now, they are like, they come from an external source. Like we are giving an electron, maybe through a wire, like through a cell or something. So those electrons are able to move through it because they still have got energy.
Oh, so it moves in between that hollow. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Zero obstruction in a material.
That's all. No, it is close to zero, but they call it as a zero only because the resistance is very, very low out there, negligible resistance. So they call it as zero. Actually, the correct term is negligible, but they've given zero also in your textbook. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So now, guys, what is the advantage of a superconductor? What if you have a superconductor? So one of the biggest advantages, what, you know, wherever you need such thick wires, you might have seen your AC, laptop, your refrigerator wires, you know, they all are very, very thick wires. Why are they made so thick? You know, so that the current can flow through it easily. I mean, with less resistance. Now, but if you have a wire, guys, look, if you have a, like, you know, in superconductors now, if your wire is so thin, you can still pass even 100 ampere current through this. Why? Because there is no resistance only. There is nothing going to stop the current only inside. That's why. Otherwise, you know what would happen? You will need a very thick wire for passing the current through it. Let's say, for example, I will need a wire so thick to pass 100 ampere current generally. But if you have a superconductor, such a thin wire is also good enough to let it pass. So what is happening, you know, out here, if you notice, you are going to save in the material, guys. Okay. The amount of wire or the material needed to make it will become lesser. So you'll save material. Second thing, you know what will happen? All your device, all your gadgets, they'll become very compact. They'll become smaller because you need less space now. So that's why, because you're using better conductors, so they'll also become smaller. But still, you know what, the superconductors are still a challenge because they are not able to find the material which are superconductor at room temperatures. So there are certain materials which are superconductor or which behave like a superconductor, but only when you're cooling them to a very low temperature. For example, they have given mercury. When you cool it below 4.2 Kelvin, it behaves like a superconductor. Remember, if they ask you what's a superconductor and you write like, you know, example as a mercury, it'll be wrong because mercury is not always a superconductor, guys. Got it now? Only when the temperature is dropped to 4.2 Kelvin or below 4.2 Kelvin. Another example is niobium. So niobium, when cooled below 9.2 Kelvin, then that also behaves like a superconductor. So these are, guys, some of the superconductors. Okay. Now, one more, guys. The last thing now left is the potential difference and law. Yes.
So the other factors affect conductivity is like opposite of resistivity, right?
No, factors affecting them are not opposite. How will they affect is opposite. Factors affecting to same ही होगा ना?
Same. Like I said, how they affect only.
No, these are factors affecting ना. So how will they affect? That will be inversely proportional. Like I mean, उल्टा हो जाएगा पूरा जो resistivity का होगा, obviously. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. Now, next thing is about the potential difference. So this is a little tough, guys, to follow. Now, see, what do you mean by potential difference? So the symbol for potential difference is PD, or you can write what you know simply capital V. Both of them are the symbol for potential difference. Now, say out here you have a material A which has got a few electrons. There is another sphere B which has got some protons here, and both of them are connected to each other through a metallic wire. Say I have connected them through another copper wire. If I connect them, guys, tell me how will the electrons flow from where to where? A to B or B to A?
B
It'll
to
go from
A.
A to B. A to B, electrons.
A to B.
A to B. High electrons, high like negative to positive, na electrons, obviously.
Current will go from B.
Exactly. Current will go from B to A. It will always go in the opposite direction. It will oppose the motion. Okay, guys, now look at this. So electrons were going from A to B and the current will go from B to A. So they say that B is at a higher potential. So higher potential basically means what? That end is positive. This is called as a lower potential. Lower potential means what? This end is what? Negative. Like remember the flow of the heat. How is the flow of the heat, guys, in calorimetry? We did high temperature to low temperature.
Yeah.
Same way here it goes from higher potential to lower potential, guys. And the difference in this potential is called as what? Potential difference. So guys, let's say this is a low potential is V1, higher potential is V2. So what is the potential difference? It is V2 minus V1. Okay. Also tell me, guys, now what difference will you notice? Okay, if at all, what difference will you notice if A was highly negative and B was highly positive, guys? Very, very positive, like more number of protons. What difference will you notice than earlier?
Number of electrons will increase.
Correct. The number of electrons flowing from A to B will increase, and also, not just that, guys, also, what will you notice, that there are going to be like the electrons will also flow more faster also, guys, now. So both the things will happen, more electrons also, and they'll also go more faster because there is more positive, right? So it will pull it more harder now compared to the previous case. So basically the difference in the concentrations, guys, that could be said as what, potential difference. That's for your understanding, guys. Okay. That's not the definition, but how do they define, how do they define potential difference? They say potential difference is the work done in moving a unit positive charge from one point to another point. So when I have moved from A to B, I have done some kind of work on that, right? By applying a force and moving it over a distance S. Guys, I'll repeat again. Imagine there is a positive charge A. You're applying some electrostatic force on it, another, positive force, and push it, repel it, and get it from A to B. So you've done some work, right? Obviously, work is equal to F into S. So that the amount of work which you do now, that is called as what? Potential difference. Guys, got it? So it's very, very important. You had it in 9th grade also. Again, it's a very commonly asked definition. What do you mean by potential difference? And as I'm saying, guys, even when you read, you will have little doubt, but after you keep rereading 2-3 times and all, then you'll get it. In fact, you'll have to learn also a few times to learn these definitions. So guys, what do we notice over here? That the current which is flowing through a conductor will be what, it will be directly proportional to the potential difference. So if the potential difference is more, there will be what? More current flowing through it also. And this logic, this concept was called as what? Ohm's law, named after the scientist Ohm. Okay, V is proportional to I. If you want to remove this proportional sign, guys, then you need to insert a constant. And what is that constant called as R, capital R? That is the resistance. Guys, to recall this formula, I call it as what, Varun Iyer every time. V for Varun, IR for Iyer. I don't think there's any Iyer in this group or any Varun also. But I had a student whose name was Varun Iyer. So I call him, this formula is Varun Iyer. Yes?
So is the constant resistivity or resistance?
Resistance.
Because
No,
but
so-
the R value will change, right?
No, Himani. When will R change? If material changes, if area changes, if length changes, if temperature changes, right? So if I have this wire AB, Himani, if I have this wire AB, I'm not doing anything to the length of the wire, to its area, to its material, to its temperature. Then the resistance of that wire will remain constant, is what we are trying to tell here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what does it mean? Like you let's say these ends of these are connected to a cell or a battery or something over here. Okay, for example. Now, when you're passing current through this now over here, so even if I keep on changing the battery, like I'm using first 5 volts, then I'm using 10 volts, then I'm using 100 volts. So as you keep on changing the voltage, the current flowing through this will also change. But the resistance will remain the same. Resistance will never change only. What is the meaning of it?
Yes, sir.
And also, Himani, look, if you cross multiply, you'll also get what, R is equal to V upon I. So resistance is basically the ratio of V and I, potential difference and the current.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fine. Then guys, now, so that was the Ohm's law, guys. So there are some numericals based on Ohm's law also, which are pretty simple numerical. They're not very tough numericals. Now, on the basis of Ohm's law, these conductors are further classified into 2 categories. They are called as what, ohmic conductor, and they are called as non-ohmic also. What do you mean ohmic conductor now? Ohmic are those who will obey Ohm's law. So they are called as ohmic conductor. Those who will not obey Ohm's law, they are called as what? Non-ohmic conductors. You got meaning of obeying Ohm's law, na? So like for example, out here, if you plot a graph of V versus I, your line will go straight line like that. But if you plot a graph of V versus I here, you know what happened to your graph? It will go like that, tera something. So in simple terms, if there's a straight line, it will be an ohmic conductor. If it's a curve, it's a non-ohmic conductor. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then now, Himani, tell me, will this line, okay, will this have a uniform, will it have a constant slope or variable slope?
Constant slope.
Constant.
Correct. It's a straight line, so it'll have a constant slope. Whereas a curve will have a variable slope where it'll keep on changing at different points.
So it's not
So
the
this is-
parabola as in that inverse. It's just
Exactly.
not uniform.
Yeah, it could be any shape, like it's just a curve basically.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
And what are the examples of ohmic conductors? So all the metals, like for example, copper, silver, iron, they're all considered to be ohmic conductors. Okay, and what are non-ohmic conductors? So the filament of a bulb, like tungsten, they are considered to be non-ohmic. Another example, guys, what diode valves. Anybody heard of diode valve? Diode, triode. Okay, have you all heard of LED, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Light
You might be having, yeah, you must be having this TV at home, LED lights or LED light emitting diodes, guys. So these are called as light emitting diode. So you learn in electronics in 11th, 12th standard if you take electronics as a subject. So in those cases, it is like, you know, there you learn about what are diodes and all. So they are also non-ohmic. Means what, you know, if you increase the potential difference, the current will not increase uniformly. It will increase at any rate randomly. So they can ask you what are ohmic, non-ohmic conductors, define or differentiate between them and give an example of each, or give you a graph and ask you to identify. Now, what will the slope of this graph be, guys? Tell me this. What would be the slope of this graph be? Advait, where did you disappear? Dekh hi nahi rahe tumhe. Guys, anybody can tell me what will be the slope of this graph, VI graph?
Constants.
Constant.
No.
R.
My question is, how much will be the
Resistance.
value? The resistance, exactly. Yeah. Guys, see, do you remember how do we find slope? Vertical distance upon horizontal. What is V upon I equal to R? So slope will be equal to resistance here. But guys, what if it was an IV graph? If it's an IV graph, what would be the slope equal to now?
Conductance.
Exactly. It will be I upon V, which is 1 upon R, and which is equal to what? Conductance. Okay. Sachi, Shah, tell me who's got a greater resistance, A or B?
So in the graph or the line?
In the
I
graph
think so.
AB. In this graph here.
A.
Very good. A will have, yeah, A only. Na? Via, what was my question? I think I forgot my question.
So which will have greater resistance. So if E
Yeah.
is of a greater value, then R will also be greater. No? And
Exactly.
slope.
No, so A will have more resistance na, than Via. That's what you justified correctly, but you gave wrong answer.
Oh,
See
yeah,
now,
sir.
isn't who's having more slope, Via, A or B?
A.
A. So A is having more slope, so we'll have more resistance also. Via, answer me this one. Who will have more resistance here, A or B?
Now B.
Correct. B will have more resistance, yes. Yeah, you know why, na? Because less conductance means more resistance. It's inversely proportional this time. That's why. Okay. Okay, guys, there are some other applications. I'll just do them. I'll change now, Saivi. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, see. Also, you need to know like which material is used where. Like for example, if they say connecting wires, remember what material we use for connecting wires?
Copper.
Copper. Okay. Then for filament of a bulb.
Tungsten.
Tungsten.
Of a bulb is tungsten. That's correct. Then, guys, next one is for is the heating filament. I'll give a hint.
Yes.
Nichrome, correct. We use nichrome, guys, out there. So guys, this is connecting wires, or these are also for power transmission. Like when they want to send a current from where they generate to your house, there also they use copper wires. That's called as power transmission. Okay, this one, guys, fuse. For making a fuse. I don't know, any of you heard of fuse?
But so why do you use poor conductors in filaments of bulb or in a filament?
See, nice question. See, Himani, in the filament of bulb, like what is the use of a bulb? You want to get light from that, right? And when will it give out light? Only if the filament becomes what? Red hot. When will it become red hot? If it has got a lot of resistance, right? Because what do you mean by resistance? Basically, electrons are going to rub more often with each other. Got it now? Electrons will keep on rubbing or colliding more often with each other.
Okay.
Exactly. So we want them, like, that there is a lot of fight between them, they wrestle, so that they produce, more friction, more heat, and it becomes red hot.
So, but
So
that
if you use
wastes
copper,
energy, right? That's why they
yeah,
use LED lights now.
that's not called as exactly wasting the energy. That's like converting the energy from one to another form. Yeah, but the problem was it was producing a lot of heat. So that was a wastage of energy. So after LEDs came, they don't become so hot now. I mean, I think they barely become hot.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Guys, what about this thing now? Fuse. In fuse, which wire we use? In fuse we may use an alloy, guys. Alloy of PBSN. So what is it, guys? Alloy of what?
Tin and lead.
Lead and
Lead and tin. Lead and tin. 50% lead, 50% tin. You know why we use this material only? Because it has got two advantages. One, it has a low melting point. Number one. Number two, it has a high resistance, you can say, or high resistivity. So what happens, even if the current exceeds certain limit, what will happen? That wire will become hot, and then eventually it will melt and it will break the circuit. Okay, that's how we make use of a fuse wire out there. So fuse wires are generally what, to protect your appliance from getting damaged. Himani, I think whose question? I think it was Himani's question. Further to your interest, see, in a bulb now, in those filament bulbs, you see how those filaments they are coiled, if you noticed, and they are thin. Can someone tell me why are these filaments used like this? Why they are coiled? And why are they made thin? Why not just
For
straight
more
wire?
resistance, because you're increasing the length.
Correct. By doing this, you're increasing the length, thin wire, so that you're decreasing the area. And both of them lead to what? Increase in resistance. Correct? And then, that's what we want, right? We want more resistance so that it will produce more heat and glow up easily.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys, now next question. First question is for Saivi. Saivi, we have got two wires, A and B. One is of length 1 meter, another is of 2 meters. Guys, everything else is same when I tell you. Only lengths are different now. Saivi, what would be the ratio of the resistance? Patkan. Saivi, try na wrong to wrong. Okay na. Tanisha is correct. Tanisha, I cannot hear you. You can do some with your fingers or something. It's okay. हाँ, correct. घाबरतोस कशाला? 1:2, correct. Yes, can someone tell me what would be the ratio of their resistivity? Rushil,
The same material.
it's the same material. I said everything is same except the length. Viha,
1:1.
1:1. Correct. Guys, because it's the same material, so resistivity would remain the same. For resistivity, you have to never think, guys. If you're thinking, you're going to go wrong. Because it's going to remain same. It's the same material. Next one.
Sir, can you show the previous slide once?
1 minute.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Guys, in the second one, you have a length of 1 meter. Another wire also of length 1 meter. But the difference is what, this has a area of 1 millimeter squared. This has an area of 2 millimeters squared. Who will try this? Sarthak, Advait, Jagwani, one of you. चला गया अद्वैत तो. Jagwani. Okay, anybody else, whoever knows it? Krishna, Kriti, Maika, Grant. Anyone? Yeah, what will be the ratio of
What
the
was
resistance?
question? Yeah.
I have given the figure. There are two wires of 1 meter length, but the areas are different. What's the resistance? What's the ratio of the resistance?
2:1.
2:1.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Kashyap also was correct. What will be the ratio of the resistivity?
1:1.
1:1.
1:1.
Okay. Guys, third one. Okay, quick. Again, you have two wires of length 1 meter, length 1 meter. Again, this time also the radius are not the same, 1 millimeter, and this radius is 2 millimeter. So first question, what is the ratio of the resistivity?
1:1.
1:1.
Perfect. What is the ratio of their resistance? We have, okay. Okay, Viha, it's wrong. We are wrong. Kashyap, correct. Akash, close, but you made a silly mistake, Akash, wrong. Saisha, wrong. Manav, wrong. Tanisha, correct. Yeah, only two people got correct, I guess, till now. Only Viha. Okay, Viha, you give the. One sec. When did you give me that answer? Okay, so Tanisha is correct. And Viha is correct. Bas. And Akashya. Only three people. Anybody else? Nishika. Nihar correct. No one wrong. Mansa wrong. Guys, rest all answers are wrong. Huh?
Mine is wrong.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll tell you guys. Look at the hint. Guys, what you're given is the radius. That's not the area. Is it the area? No, it's a radius. So what you'll have to do now, first you'll have to Himani correct. Saivi wrong guy, resistance find kare chablala. How will it be? We are not finding resistivity, Saivi. Saivi, see what will be the ratio? What will be the area of this? Nandini wrong. So pi into 1 squared is how much? Pi only. Find out A2 also now. Pi R2 squared. So pi into 2 squared. So it will be 4 pi. So guys, now remember how is resistance dependent on area? Inversely proportional. Inversely, like we did in the last sum. So what will be the ratio here? 4:1. Akash, you understood your mistake? I think you did not do reciprocal.
Yes, sir.
Guys, but it's a little googly. Very important question.
So can you go to the
Guys,
last
well,
slide again?
page 180 left column. Full left column is cancelled. I have anyways not marked also. I have anyways like not marked anything there. Okay, nothing is cancelled, guys. No need to mark actually.
Observations.
Let it be. I'm not even whatever I marked, not that much. You just read, bus. Guys, next class we are going to do the numericals of this A part of the chapter, and we'll finish off A part. I'll advise you all learn this chapter today only. Like at least do the homework today only, so that you'll remember it, guys. I'm telling you, otherwise again you'll forget it, guys. You won't remember. It'll be same like how we did in 9th and still don't remember. So guys, I'll tell you for homework, we'll do what exercise 8A. Circled questions. Who else saw the match yesterday?
Everyone.
Which match? So which match?
India versus
No, sir, I didn't watch.
Or we need to do this by tomorrow?
Sir, I knew they will do some SOL.
No, so I did not watch because I was watching Man United versus Liverpool.
Acha. Who won that?
Liverpool
This stuff.
destroyed Man United. They won 5-0.
Oh, even this was also destroyed only. India also got destroyed
Yeah.
yesterday.
But like Liverpool, like Man United could not do anything only. They could not even.
It was same situation only. Only not even one like wicket. Pakistan was not out. I mean,
Yeah, I
nobody
saw.
got
the
out
shot.
only.
I saw the shot, but I found cricket kind of boring.
So what are you doing? What are you planning for after
Yeah.
Diwali vacations? Online, offline?
Let's see, maybe offline, maybe like those who are not answering or something, at least them I'll make compulsory. Rest all can do the test from home. I'll make Google Forms test. So rest all will be able to answer there. Others I'll maybe call them for the offline test.
So, but will we have class like before boards and stuff like the entire week? I think we have the second week and third week. Yeah.
Second and third week. Now, so I'll keep for those who have doubts or something. So those, as I'm saying, those who are answering reasonably well and all, so they will have an option. I'll just give them the test they can do on Google Forms or something. Others, I probably will have to call them.
Okay, so thank you.
Okay.
So is this homework
Okay.
for tomorrow?
Yeah, guys. So we'll have little work, guys. Work little hard this 1 week. I just want to finish that one chapter. I don't know how your school finished so fast. I'm going to take 5 classes to do this, guys.
So numericals also for homework.
Thank
No,
you.
guys. No numericals. Numericals I'm doing in the next class.
Okay, so
Tomorrow.
Sir, we need to do this by tomorrow.
Yeah. Do tomorrow. It'll be fruitful. It'll make more sense.
Sir, the
Okay.
phone
Yes, sir, I'll
is
try.
over.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye,
Sir,
sir.
can you
Thank
repeat homework? Only
Bye,
circle
sir.
question.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Only
Thank you.
circle. Yeah. It is circle.